Good morning. My name is Curtis Robinson. I'm the chaplain with the Fort McMurray Fire Department. We'd like to welcome you all to our 2017 September 11th Memorial Service. Before we get started here, just a few housekeeping items. If you need to use the facilities, there is a door just behind you to my right, which will allow you access to washrooms and anything else you require in the back there. At this time, I would like to welcome Honor Guard President Adam Bogdan to the stage to address the crowd.
Hello everyone, thank you for coming. I just want to start by commemorating the fact that this is the Honor Guard's 20th anniversary with the Fort McMurray Fire Department. So it's quite an integral part to be able to sit here with our memorial, to be able to present it to you today, with it being a 20-year anniversary as such. So quite a proud moment for all of us. The inception of the Fort McMurray Firefighters Memorial began approximately 8 years ago at the hands of retired Battalion Chief and Honor Guard member Pat Dubé. Pat's initial idea saw out the planning and construction of the memorial grounds in which you are seated here today. Firehall 5 opened 5 years ago, and with that open we saw initial layout of the memorial grounds. This was merely the first step, but in a huge undertaking. Pat Dubé joins us here today from Nova Scotia as our honored guest. Our next undertaking was the statue itself. 4 years of fundraising by our Honor Guard raised over $100,000. This money came largely from our own community, our friends, our families, the people of Fort McMurray. To all of you, we give you our heartfelt thanks. Finding a design for the statue itself proved a great challenge. We had no idea for a concept, save to say it had to be unique and something to call our own. We asked for advice from our brothers and sisters in the fire department, and what we received time and time again, rather than designs or concepts, was one simple direction: do it right. Over 2 years ago, one of our Honor Guard members found an artist. This artist's name was Timothy Schmaltz. Tim is based out of Kitchener, and his piece that caught our eye was the Kitchener's Firefighter Memorial. Tim is also responsible for the Canadian Veterans Memorial in Ottawa, and an art piece titled Homeless Jesus, a statue later to be blessed by the Pope. Needless to say, we were impressed. Upon contacting Tim, he informed us that he had already had a design concept and had been waiting for a fire department to adopt it. Over the course of several months, we worked with Tim, fine-tuning the design before arriving at a piece to see before you. The drawing in the middle was actually Ryan Pitcher's, one of our Honor Guard members. His niece actually made that design in the center of it. So over the course of several months, we worked with him, fine-tuning the design before arriving at the PCC before you. This statue features the shape of a Maltese cross, a symbol dating back to the Byzantine culture circa 6th century, and an image deeply steeped in the history of the tradition of the fire service. Within each portion of the cross are vignettes based on the firefighter prayer, which will be recited today. With this beautiful statue finally in place, our members have a focal point to honor our fallen. This memorial is dedicated to firefighters who have fallen in the line of duty, thousands of our brothers and sisters who died in the service of their communities. That being said, the memorial is not a symbol of their sacrifice, but rather a tribute to their lives, their dedication, their commitment, and their love. Today we honor two of our own, Brother Dave Richard and Brother James Banting. You see their bunker gear before you, who had both of their lives taken too soon by the careers that they chose and loved. Brothers, this is for you.
Thank you, Adam. Please rise. Honor Guard, Commander, march on the guard.
Sentries, outwards, turn. Honor guard, order, arms. Honor guard, stand at east.
Please remain standing as we invite John Gibbs up to sing the national anthems. Just in order of dress, members in headdress do not remove headdress, follow the honor guard's commanders.
Honor guard, attention! Honor guard, shoulder, arms. Honor guard, to your colors, present, arms.
Oh, sorry. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so glad we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we gazed were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all our sons command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Honor guard, shoulders, arms. Honor guard, stand at. Honor guard, order, arms. Honor guard, stand at east.
Thank you, Captain Gibbs. You may be seated. At this time, I would like to invite Local 2494 President Rob Van Heck to the podium.
Good morning. On behalf of the Fort McMurray Firefighters Association, I would like to welcome all dignitaries, brothers and sister firefighters, family and friends, our emergency partners, and members of the public. Thank you for joining us here this morning. September 11th is a day where we reflect and remember close to 3,000 civilians that lost their lives. Today is the 16th anniversary of the loss of 343 firefighters, 60 police officers, and 8 paramedics in New York City. And since 9/11, a further 159 first responders have died as a result of their work during and after the attacks. They are heroes who protected their city and its people. Their courage will never be forgotten. We remember those heroes with gratitude because they died bravely, doing what they were sworn to do, protecting their fellow citizens. They made the ultimate sacrifice. This is the calling of firefighters everywhere, here in Fort McMurray, across Alberta, and around the world. And we honor them because it reminds us of our common humanity and the absolute obligation to honor, support, and care for each other. Today we also gather to pay our respects to our own Fort McMurray firefighters that have gone before us in the line of duty. Brother Dave Richard and Brother Jim Banting. We also remember those who served with us and who have passed too soon from illness or from other reasons. We remember Archie Brooks, Mervyn Agopsowicz, Serge Filipenko, Archie Goodwin, Dave Fredericks, Del Kelly, Bob Plamondon, Wayne Peterson, Merv Christensen, Rick Wilkinson, Ken Zacher, Roy Hawkins, Leanne McKenzie, Mark Cornell, and Bo Cooper. Although our hearts are filled with profound sadness, they are also filled with great pride as we remember and reflect on the character, devotion, and endless acts of courage by each of our fallen. Words cannot repay the debt of gratitude that we owe to them. Memorials and monuments like the one we stand before today give us a place to reflect and remember. It is our hope that all residents and guests of Fort McMurray will visit this memorial and take the time to reflect on the selfless acts of courage and duty of not only those who have fallen, but of those who carry on. I wish to commend the Fort McMurray Honor Guard and indeed the work of our membership for their outstanding efforts to ensure that this monument is dedicated to preserving the memory of our heroes. You have done wonderful work and continue to honor the spirit of our fallen firefighters. To honor those who have died in the line of duty is one of the most important things that we can do. Let us never forget that the safety we enjoy in our daily lives comes at a price. However, the best tribute we can pay to our fallen firefighters is to promise in their memory that we will never stop fighting to improve firefighters and public safety. Thank you.
Thank you, President Van Heck. At this time, I would like to ask RES Fire Chief Jody Butts to come up to the podium.
Good morning and welcome to representation from David Udega's office, Angela, our MLA Tani Yao, our Honorable Mayor Melissa Blake, our local union president Rob Van Heck, our industrial mutual aid partners in emergency services, our friends with Alberta Forestry, Bernie and crew there, thanks for coming, RCMP, and certainly to all of our fellow firefighters and their families. And I want to say a special welcome to past member Pat Dubé. Thanks for joining us, Pat. It's hard to think of a more honorable profession than firefighting. There's a reason why firefighting occupies a special place in our imaginations. Why little boys and little girls say, "I want to be a firefighter." Instinctively, there's something special about it. Imagine what it takes to put on a heavy coat and that helmet and override the natural human instinct for self-preservation and run into the danger as others are running away, knowing that you might never make it out because you're trying to save the lives of strangers. And yet the fallen that we honor today would probably have said that they were just ordinary people who were doing work they believed in. There is a humility that seems to be a part of being a firefighter. From rural communities to large urban centers, those we honor today live the fundamental principle that binds us all. We look out for one another, and there's something bigger than each of us individually. This is the basis of humanity. This is the stuff of good men and good women. Firefighting is a dangerous, and I am humbled by the courage that our firefighters here today demonstrate on a daily basis, both with bravery and humility. I want to recognize and commend the members of our Honor Guard for their commitment to an idea that started some 8 years ago and finally a reality as we see it today, a fitting statue that stands in front of us here. A symbol to commemorate the sacrifices of our firefighters, give to the public we serve every day. This memorial is in a place where all are welcome and where the residents can remember and reflect on firefighters that have fallen. But it's important to remember that no firefighter stands alone. Behind each member is the supportive family. It is important to acknowledge the sacrifices of family members who stand alongside every one of our firefighters. The brotherhood of firefighting doesn't stop at the fire hall door. It extends to every mom and dad, every spouse, every child who waits for their beloved one to come home at the end of the shift. All of you are united by an unbreakable bond of strength and sacrifice. I want you to know that this is your family too. We know that we did not have the right to ask you to give up so much, but we do know that we thank you from the heart. The passing of our firefighters not only etched in stone, but this humanity, this courage, this loving dedication to family, to community, and to life itself is etched in our collective memory. I can say to you from all firefighters, we will always remember.
Thank you, Chief Butts. At this time, I'd like to ask Mayor Melissa Blake to come up to the podium.
Thank you, dignitaries, special guests, ladies and gentlemen, young boys, if there's young girls around here too, I want to thank you for joining us on this very special occasion that we are privileged enough to be able to come together and bring those tributes just once a year. It's on behalf of my regional council, including Councillor McGrath, who I think I saw in the audience here today, and the residents of Wood Buffalo, that I am delighted to be at this service. It highlights the new memorial statue, and of course you can look at each of the images in there, and maybe one quadrant over any other will have meaning for you, but the overall being is one that is something I am so incredibly proud to be able to witness today and know will live well beyond our time here. It's an ideal space as well for us to gather as a community, to remember, to pay tribute to the brave firefighters who have lost their lives in the line of duty. And of course, we always reflect on the 9/11 events and the numbers that were there. But when Rob was talking about some 3,000 different lives that have served and sacrificed, again, it goes beyond. And when we come right home to our region, there's no question that when you look at the gear, I knew both of those gentlemen personally. It is in the end of the servers that we've had and taken benefit from. It included that long list of others that have been lost over time, not directly to the job, but still in service to our community. On this date, we come together as a mark of respect to all of those men and women in the fire service. And for each time you answer that call of duty and you lay your lives on the line. While the rest of us inevitably run away from fires and dangerous situations, you do the opposite. You run towards the emergency, into the unknown, and ready to help in any way that you can. Above all, you are fearless and prepared to give everything, even your life, in service to others. Here in Wood Buffalo, the events of 2016 brought that message home with perfect clarity. The community stands here today, and the people rebuilding, moving forward with their lives because of your superhuman efforts, your resilience, and your relentless dedication to the people of this region. Now, I know that I've said it before, but there's no better occasion than to repeat it. Our community has a debt of gratitude that we will never be able to fully repay. Today, we are proud to join with fire departments across North America in recognizing this as the Day of Remembrance. We thank our firefighters and all first responders for the remarkable strength and bravery that they show every time they answer a call. But we also thank their families, not only for supporting them, but for sharing them with the entire community. Here in Wood Buffalo, it's, of course, absolutely fitting to remember Captain Dave Richard and Battalion Chief James Thomas Banting, or Dave and Jim as I knew them, who were injured, of course, through their job. As mayor, I am deeply proud of the men and women who serve in our community as firefighters and, by extension, all first responders. On behalf of council and all residents, I want to thank you for keeping our families and communities safe. Your exceptional service and commitment to Wood Buffalo has that utmost respect and gratitude. We are grateful for the services of your colleagues, and we thank each and every one of you for your service.
Thank you, Mayor Blake. At this time, I would like to ask Carrie Lloyd to come up to the podium and read Call Waiting.
Call waiting. I'm lying in the darkness. I cannot fall asleep. I wonder where my husband is. I wish he'd call or beep. I saw him leave this morning, the black boots on his feet. He said he'd to run now. He's on the street. I know you'll know him when you see him. His truck is very loud. He has no time to stop now. He doesn't want a crowd. A caller said, "Please hurry. Come quickly if you will. A young man with a motorbike is laying very still." A mother calls in anguish. Her child is limp and blue. "Hurry, come, I need you. I don't know what to do." I hear his key is turning. He's coming in the door. I hear him drop his boots, then footsteps on the floor. I hear him in the kitchen. I can tell from his walk. He'll soon come in and wake me and ask if we can talk. We'll sit out in the moonlight and listen to the night. He talks about a shooting, a street gang in a fight, a car crash, a drowning, a small child hurt at play, the things he needs to talk about, the things he did today. The old, the sick, the injured, some so very small. He did all he could to help them. He answered every call. Every day he has a mission. He knows it in his heart. He does everything he can and always does his part. If you're sick or injured and you need to reach my hun, I can tell you how to reach him. His number is 911.
Thank you, Carrie. At this time, I invite Caitlin McPherson to the stand to read Last Alarm.
My father was a fireman. Many fires did he fight. He'd say, "Mother, wish me luck," when he'd go to work at night each night. Then Dad would not come home again till sometime the next day. But the thing that bothered me the most was the things some folks would say. A fireman's life is easy. He eats, he sleeps, and plays. And sometimes he doesn't fight a fire for days and days and days. When I first heard these words, I was too young to understand, 'cause I knew when people had trouble, Dad was there to lend a hand. Then my father went to work one day, and he kissed us all goodbye. But little did we realize that night we all would cry. My father lost his life that night when the floor gave way below. I'd wondered why he risked his life for someone he did not know. But now I realize the greatest gift a man can give is to lay his life upon the line so someone else might live. So we go from day to day, and we pray to God above. Say a prayer for your local firemen. They may save the one you love.
Thank you, Caitlin. The reading of a dispatcher. The telephone rings. A cry of help is heard. The dispatcher answers the call. She carefully notes every word. Time is of the essence. Give all the details you can. Answer the question she asks. Clear and concise is the plan. Your exact location is required. The phone number you make the call from. What emergency prompted your call? Is the problem next door or at home? Speak slowly and help speed the response. If it's a fire, exactly what is a blaze? For a medical call, how many injured? No cooperating can cause delays. The dispatcher is your first response to your 911 call. Help the dispatcher help you. Make it clear. Tell all. Ladies and gentlemen, honored guests, friends, and family. As a chaplain today, as chaplain of Fort McMurray Fire Department, today we meet to honor those who have given their lives on behalf of others. In this world of brokenness, we know all too well that we may all be called to someone's worst day. As firefighters, we do our best to step into that chaos, remain calm, and bring peace. We remember all our brothers and sisters that have fought to save life, worked to protect our communities, and whom we have relied on as members of our team and family. We are blessed to have known those who sacrificed and gave their all to lift up those in their times of greatest need. Let us lift them up in prayer now. Dear God, you know even when a sparrow falls to the ground, and you take no pleasure in the passing of anyone. You feel our sorrow and grief in losing a loved one and friends. Lord, I ask you would comfort those who need it today. Protect those who are currently serving. We ask you to help us remember those who have sacrificed so much. Amen. At this time, may I ask Martin Cradishfield to come to the stand to read Firefighter's Prayer.
Brother, when you weep for me, remember it was meant to be. Lay me down when you leave. Remember, I'll be at your sleeve. In every dark and choking hallway, I'll be there as you slowly crawl. In every roof in driving snow, I'll hold your coat and you will know. In cellars hot with searing heat, at windows where a gate you'll meet, in closets where young children hide, you know I'll be there at your side. The house from which I respond is overstaffed with heroes gone. Men and women who answered one last bell, did the job, and did it well. As firefighters, we understand that death's a card dealt in our hand, a card we hope we'll never pay, but one we hope we'll hold there anyway. The card is something we ignore as we crawl across a weakened floor, for we know that will there be only one prayer for anyone who might be there. So remember as you wipe your tears, the joy I knew throughout the years. As I did the job I do love so, I pray that though you'll see me through.
The Bell Ceremony. This ceremony is a long-standing tradition in the fire service. In the past, as firefighters began their tour of duty, it was the sound of the bell that signaled the end of each shift. Throughout the day and night, each emergency was sounded by a bell, which summoned these brave souls to fight fires and place their lives in jeopardy for the good of their fellow citizens. When the fire was over, or the emergency had come to an end, it was again the sound of a bell that signaled the completion of the call. When a firefighter died in the line of duty, making the ultimate sacrifice, it was the mournful toll of the bell that solemnly announced a comrade passing. We use these traditions as symbols, which reflect honor and respect to those who have given their lives in the line of duty. To symbolize the devotion that these brave individuals had for their duty, a special signal of 3 rings, 3 times each, represents the end of their duties, that they will be returning to quarters. And so for those who have selflessly given their lives for the good of their fellow man, their tasks completed, their duties well done, for these individuals we signal their last alarm. Please rise. They are going home.
Honor guard, attention! Honor guard, shoulder, arms! Honor guard, present, arms! Honor guard, stand at east.
At this time, we will proceed into the laying of the wreaths. You may be seated. Is there anyone else who would like to lay a wreath? Please stand.
Honor guard, attention! Honor guard, shoulder, arms. Honor guard, present, arms. Honor guard, rest on your arms, reverse, reverse. Honor guard. Honor guard. Present. Arms. Honor guard. Shoulder. Arms. Sentries. Inwards. Turn. Honor guard. Move to the right. Right. Turn. Honor guard. By the left. Quick. March.
You may be seated. Thank you very much for attending our 2017 September 11th Memorial Day. On behalf of the members of the Fort McMurray Fire Department, we thank you for your attendance. Please join us after the ceremony in the doors straight back to your right and through the bay into the bay for some light refreshments. Thank you very much.